In December 1705, a small, dilapidated mud fortress known as the Gutty of Chamkaur stood as the last desperate refuge for Guru Gobind Singh and just 40 of his devoted Khalsa warriors. Outside, a vast, merciless imperial army, numbering in the hundreds of thousands, encircled them, demanding surrender. These weren't just ordinary men. These were the Khalsa, the pure, forged by Guru Gobind Singh himself just a few years prior. They had taken vows of unwavering devotion to defend righteousness and uphold justice against all odds. Their very identity, symbolized by the 5 articles of faith, including the kirpan, a ceremonial sword representing spiritual power and the defense of the weak, was a declaration of defiance against tyranny. They had just endured a brutal siege at Anandpur Sahib, promised safe passage by the Mughal emperor and the Hill Rajas, only to be treacherously attacked the moment they left the city, losing many and separating the Guru from his entire family in the chaos of the flooded Sarsa River. They would not surrender, not now, not ever. Have you ever heard of this incredible stand? A story of 40 against an empire, of conviction facing annihilation? The events that led to Chamkaur began weeks earlier with the prolonged siege of Anandpur Sahib. Guru Gobind Singh and his Sikhs were trapped, food supplies dwindling. The Mughal emperor Aurangzeb and the allied Hill Rajas sent sweared oaths on their holy books, promising safe passage if the Guru evacuated the city. Trusting that even their enemies might respect such sacred vows, Guru Gobind Singh agreed. But the ink was barely dry on their promises when the imperial forces launched a massive surprise assault as the Sikhs crossed the Sarsa River. It was a massacre. The river, swollen by winter rains, became a torrent of blood and bodies. In the ensuing chaos, Guru Gobind Singh was separated from his mother, Mata Gujri, and his 2 youngest sons, Sahibzade Zorawar Singh and Fateh Singh, who would later achieve Shahidi or martyrdom themselves. His 2 older sons, Sahibzade Ajit Singh and Jujhar Singh, remained with him, alongside a handful of loyal Sikhs, battling through the night. They fought their way through the relentless pursuit, finally reaching the small village of Chamkaur late on December 6, 1705. The only defensible structure was the Gutty, a crude mud fort, barely more than a fortified house, lacking proper defenses or supplies. It was a desperate position, but it was their only chance. Guru Gobind Singh and his remaining 40 men knew their fate was sealed. The Mughal army, enraged at their escape from the Sarsa, surrounded the Gutty by dawn. The sun rose on December 7th to reveal a terrifying spectacle. An endless sea of Mughal soldiers, archers, musketeers, and cavalry stretched as far as the eye could see. Estimates suggest the combined forces numbered in the hundreds of thousands. Commanders like Wazir Khan, the governor of Sirhind, were there, determined to capture or kill Guru Gobind Singh. Inside the mud fort, the 40 Khalsa and their Guru prepared for the inevitable. Each Sikh knew this was their final stand, a moment of profound shahidi, a sacrifice for their faith and the principles it represented. They were not fighting for victory in the traditional sense, but for the honor of their beliefs. The battle began with a roar. Wave after wave of Mughal soldiers crashed against the flimsy walls of the Gutty. The Sikhs, armed with their kirpans, spears, and a limited supply of muskets and arrows, adopted a brilliant but desperate strategy. They would send out small squads, typically 5 at a time, to engage the enemy in hand-to-hand combat. This tactic served multiple purposes. It conserved their dwindling numbers for as long as possible, inflicted maximum damage on the dense enemy ranks, and allowed others inside the fort to reload and prepare. It was a strategy born of pure courage and self-sacrifice. Each sortie was a one-way trip, a guaranteed shahidi. The air filled with the clang of steel, the cries of battle, and the thud of bodies. From the roof of the Gutty, Guru Gobind Singh watched, his bow singing, felling enemy commanders and inspiring his warriors. He saw his beloved six fight with an almost supernatural ferocity, each one embodying the spirit of the Khalsa. He saw them fall one by one, each precious life extinguished, yet their resolve never wavered. How many men, facing such overwhelming odds, would choose to fight to the last breath, knowing there was no escape? As the day wore on, the numbers inside the gutty dwindled. The Khalsa, though few, had wreaked havoc on the Mughal forces, who were astonished by their tenacity. Yet the outcome was never in doubt. With the sun beginning to set, only a handful of Sikhs remained. Among them were Guru Gobind Singh's two eldest sons, Sahibzade Ajit Singh, barely 18, and Sahibzade Jujar Singh, just 14. Ajit Singh, a young man who had grown up amidst conflict and valor, approached his father. "My Guru, my father," he said, "I am your son. Grant me permission to go forth and fight in the battlefield and earn my shahidi." Guru Gobind Singh, tears in his eyes but pride in his heart, embraced him, then armed him and sent him out. Ajit Singh fought like a lion, cutting down many, before he too fell, attaining shahidi in the dust of Chamkaur. Moments later, the 14-year-old Jujar Singh stepped forward. He looked at his father, his eyes burning with the same fire that had consumed his brother. "Father," he pleaded, "I am your son. Allow me to follow my brother's path. Do not say I am too young. I am a Singh, and I will not shy from duty." Guru Gobind Singh again watched as his youngest warrior son plunged into the maelstrom of battle, cutting down enemies until he too was overwhelmed and attained his own glorious shahidi. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, mournful shadows over the battlefield. Inside the gutty, only Guru Gobind Singh and 5 other Khalsa remained. The Mughals, baffled by the resistance, held back, perhaps fearing a trap, perhaps waiting for morning to deliver the final blow. But the remaining 6 had a different plan. They knew that the lineage of gurus would end if Guru Gobind Singh fell. His survival was paramount for the future of the Khalsa and the spiritual direction of the Sikhs. These 5 surviving Khalsa, acting as the Panj Pyare, the 5 beloved ones, representing the collective will of the Khalsa, issued a hukam, a command, to their guru. They collectively commanded Guru Gobind Singh to escape. This was an unprecedented moment. The guru, the spiritual and temporal leader, was now being commanded by his disciples. In Sikh tradition, the collective will of the Khalsa, once formalized, held immense authority, even over the guru himself. Guru Gobind Singh, who had established the Khalsa, knew he had to honor their decision. He had already declared that the Khalsa was his form, his very essence. Under the cover of darkness, Guru Gobind Singh prepared to leave. He left 3 Khalsa behind, tasking them with creating a diversion, shouting war cries to confuse the enemy while he slipped away with 2 others. It was a perilous escape, but the survival of the Guru and the spirit of the Khalsa was the ultimate prize. The Battle of Chamkaur was not a military victory. It was a profound shahidi, a testament to faith, courage, and unwavering principle against impossible odds. What was at stake that day was not territory or treasure, but the very soul of a nascent faith, the right to stand against tyranny without compromise. The 40 men who fought and died there cemented their place in history as the Chali Mukde, the 40 liberated ones, their sacrifice becoming an eternal wellspring of inspiration.
Guru Gobind Singh, having lost his entire family and nearly all his warriors, continued his mission, eventually formalizing the Guru Granth Sahib as the eternal, living Guru, ensuring that the guidance and wisdom of the Gurus would forever reside in scripture, not in a human form. Chamkaur is not just a battle. It is a profound lesson in conviction, a stark reminder that true strength often lies not in numbers, but in an unshakable belief in what is right.